I think I understand sarcasm now. You know? I think I do. Alright. So how many popes does it take to screw in an altar boy? How should I know? I have repressed memories. Thank you. So 2020's been like a magic 8-ball filled with Snake Plissken quotes, right? I mean, it's been pretty terrible. I mean, it's like we all live in a cage. That's what 2020's been like. But 2021 is going to be much better. Like 2021 is going to be the year Smokey the Bear puts a gun in his mouth. That's what's going to happen in 2021. Smokey the Bear is going to put a gun in his mouth and get serious this time. It's going to like threaten people that way. Oh, man. So anyways, I think nitrous oxide kills brain cells. I mean, how would I know? So last weekend, I entered a self-deprecation contest. I didn't win and I came in first place. Thank you. Oh, God. So some comedian accused me of being a nihilist. And I told him, hey, I'm a stand-up comic. I mean, should I accuse you of really fucking nailing it? Yeah. No, I actually said, oh, you got me, I'm a nihilist. What do I do now? Give up? Give up being funny? Oh, man. You ever throw up on yourself because you were too fucked up to get out of the way? Oh, me neither. I have not thrown up on myself because I was too fucked up. I threw up on myself so I wouldn't have to clean my car. Yeah, I was driving and I just threw up on myself so I wouldn't have to clean my car. I did it because I was smart. Yeah. Also, once I threw up on myself to keep from throwing up on my drugs. It's the truth. I threw up on myself to keep from throwing up on my drugs. I was at this neurological science convention and they had like this big party on a rooftop. Yeah, imagine that. Like we were testing all the new personality flavors in these vape pens. And you want to see who gets thrown off a roof. Like that's how you test it. So we were all hanging out smoking this like mysterious chemical. Like we didn't know what was in there. And I was in a conversation with somebody about light shows. And I started throwing up. And I had the vape pen in my hand, so I just put my hand over it and I threw up on my hand. I protected it. And then when I was finished throwing up, I just, rose up and got back into the conversation. Because that's what we were like. I mean, we were all polite. But I trickled vomit all over myself and, and then I got back into the conversation and then I never left. But I protected all my drugs. Oh, man. I don't know if that's something to brag about, but I am the spokesperson for extreme sobriety. I'm the spokesperson for extreme sobriety. I actually spell extreme with 3 E's. I'm super good at spelling. Yeah, I think marijuana is a gateway drug. Because I'm a hack. Yeah, I smoke weed because short-term memory loss keeps me from remembering constant failure. That's how I smoke weed. I actually smoke bath salts. I smoke bath salts. Bath salts are great, And it's been demonized by the press, just because some guy chewed someone's face off on a bicycle path in Florida while they're high on bath salts. I mean, just because some guy does that doesn't mean bath salts are so terrible. For every guy who chews someone's face off high on bath salts, there's 2,000 people just visiting the emergency room with a shampoo bottle shoved up their ass. And then everybody else high on bath salts has a great time. People like me. Great time. Yeah. But whenever I smoke bath salts, I always like to roofie my own drink. Yeah, I roofie my own drink before I smoke bath salts. You know. So that way when I get that urge to chop off my dick and jump out a window, I can quit being so impulsive. Yeah, I can just tamp those emotions down. Because I need to. Oh, man. Oh, where am I at right now? What am I doing? Oh, so I've done acid. You could tell. I've done acid over 300 times. I've done acid over 300 times this year. And I know it's still January. The acid doesn't even affect me anymore. Acid doesn't affect me. Acid just makes me sober. I mean, you could tell because I'm doing this. Huh. No, I wake up every morning like totally sober thinking, oh great, the sky's exploding, how should I dress? You know, what do I choose? The answer is spiders. And I know I can't choose because I'm on tons of acid. You know, but it's bad acid. It's bad acid. I'm just like aware of everything, you know? I complain to my dealer about it. I say, hey, you know, you keep selling me this bad acid. And he says, yeah, right. And then he sells me more bad acid. And it's fucking crazy, you know? You know, my street name's Placebo. Like, they say, just don't worry about it, you know? They don't even ask me to pay them, you know? I just pay them later. Ugh, man. Who knows what I'm doing or why? Ugh. But acid, like I say, acid's like nothing. Acid's nothing. Like my favorite drugs are like toad. Like I like toads to get high, because you can't die of fentanyl poisoning, and you can't die of fentanyl if you're licking toads because they're live drugs. Yeah, you know. Because if I'm licking a dead toad, it might be, you know, somebody might have drizzled fentanyl on it, and that'd be a bad way to die. A memorable way to die. Just going to sleep licking a toad. You thought you were gonna get off on it? Like that's fucked up. Yeah. All right. Take a break right now. We got like sirens going by. Oh, where's my coffee? I'm actually using a coffee cup as a microphone during this set. So if it sounds weird or something, it's because it's fucking weird. Alright. Jeez, no. But my nightmares are beginning. I don't know, you know? Oh, I was in an adult bookstore. Because, hey, look at me. No, it's the truth. I was in an adult bookstore because why else would I exist? Anyways, I walk into this bookstore, and there's this guy having an argument with the cashier. And he's got this, like, stretched out blow-up doll all over the countertop, like all 6 feet of it. And he's trying to return it. He's trying to return this fucking blow-up doll to the cashier. He's trying to say, hey, this blow-up doll is defective. This blow-up doll is defective. This blow-up doll has a hair lip and it's going to cut me. And I want a full refund. And the cashier was trying to give him store credit. Just to get him out of the store. Yeah, he wasn't even trying to give him cash. He was just trying to say, oh, you're so infatuated with the face. I have this gumjob granny like hanging on the shelf. This gumjob granny is like $20 more. We'll give you store credit for $20. You know, if you want a gumjob granny, it's a blow-up doll with dentures. It's a blow-up doll with dentures, and because you're so infatuated with the face, you know, we're willing to like concede a little bit on this exchange. And they were having this argument, and I had to walk up to him, and I had to look at the blow-up doll because, you know, I had to see, and it was a factory defect. Yeah, it was like a Chinese finger trap for a blow-up doll. So I walked up to these people, and I just said, hey, you know, like, I mean, why start with the face? trying to be a problem solver. I say, hey, why start with the face? You're just having sex with a trash bag. Ugh, man. But it was an authentic factory defect, so... I mean, I told him just put it on eBay, actually. I told him to put it on eBay. You know, because maybe David Fincher and Crispin Glover can get into a bidding war over it and drive up the price. You could make like an investment on this thing. You know. Oh, man. That's not even a joke. That's like more like reality, because I know a guy who got locked into his blow-up doll. That's how I got that joke. I'm like stealing that joke officially. I'm just letting you know I'm stealing that joke. Because I had a friend of mine who actually had sex with a blow-up doll, and the blow-up doll had a defect that locked his, it locked his penis in place. Because it had, these ridges on the mouth. So he tried to have sex with it, and it got stuck. And he couldn't drive. He couldn't drive to the hospital because he was too young. He was too young. He was 16 years old. He didn't have a driver's license. So he had to wait for his parents to come home and drive him to the hospital. They chopped off the head of the blow-up doll. They chopped off the head. And they took him to the hospital. And they extracted him from this blow-up doll's head. And then they built a fence around his gene pool, because that's what they do at the hospital when things like that happen. They didn't actually build a fence around his gene pool. He just moved to Florida and found a mate. But that's a real thing that happened to somebody. Actually, none of that's real. But I just come up with shit all the time, because that's what I do. I just make people believe shit all the time, because that's the only thing I have left in life. It's just too much fun. Sometimes I walk up to junkies and I tell them that smoking bedbugs will get them high if they're junkies. I tell them that. I say smoking bedbugs will get you high if you're a junkie. Because if you're a junkie, you have bedbugs. Probably, if you're a good junkie. If you have a reliable source of junk. And if you're doing heroin all the time, sometimes you run out. And if they're sucking all the blood off of you already, they store the blood in their exoskeletons. They store all the heroin right there. So you can just collect them and mash them up and put them in your pipe and smoke it. Or inject it. They're your bed bugs. You can inject them. It's not going to cause anything to happen. That's why I tell junkies, I tell them that so they'll clean up their own shit. Because I'm tired of living infested with bed bugs. Because I have to live around junkies because I don't like paying rent. I'm a civilized human being. I am. I'm a civilized human being. Oh, man. Oh, so. What's going on? What was I even thinking about? I have jokes. I'm going to tell jokes. How about that? I'm going to tell jokes for a while. Because there's people just walking around and they don't know what's going on. This is semi-frightening or something. I'm in a parking lot. Oh, man. Oh, this is the death metal album. I got to remind myself. So, it's death metal themed, material. It's death metal themed material. So there, nothing but Def Leppard all the time. That's right. Oh, man. My schizophrenic roommate has a large collection of samurai swords. Because that's the type of rent I can afford. It's $200. Thank you. Oh, man. So sometimes I show up at comedy shows and they say, who's letting this witch have a microphone, that's going to make the spells easier to cast. Man. I had some dude walk up to me the other day and say, hey, you know where I can get some heroin? And I said, come on, do I look like I know where to get heroin? Man. So Durex, the condom company, Durex just came out with a condom that enhances male sensitivity. Yeah, like you needed that. Yeah, for added value, each condom is wrapped in a little apology note. Ugh, man. See, now the cops are showing up. This is like, ugh. Man. Yeah, people are afraid of clowns now. I don't know if you know this. But people are afraid of clowns. Jesus. All right. Nothing like a great reminder that diseases are actually happening, you know, while you're doing a comedy show. Bunch of sirens rolling around. All right. Oh, man. Sometimes I think the news is fake because people are holograms. Like, I've done a lot of drugs. Like, I saw a news story, like, the other day before COVID. It's been one long day. And they had a news story about revenge pooping. And I thought, this news story is fake. Yeah, because that's not really a crime. But they were saying that it's a crime. That was the whole news story. It's like they trotted a guy up in the city, and he said that revenge pooping is a crime because you have to know who did it, and you have to know why they did it. That makes it a crime. It makes it a special crime. And this guy was like on the news in like a white shirt with a tie and no jacket, like some cleric from the state government. He said there was 137 cases of revenge pooping in the city of Denver last year. The guy actually said that, an exact number, 137 cases of revenge pooping. And it was a news story, and by the time that news story was done, I didn't know whether it was a warning or an advertisement. Because only 137 cases, like one person could beat that. You know, I thought they were just angling for more news. That's why I thought it was just an advertisement for more news. Because that could be an epidemic all of a sudden if we suddenly knew that, like, pooping on a screen door in an expensive car was a crime. That's what I'm saying, you know, that could suddenly be like, pop up as a news story. Yeah, I never really thought about it, you know, like revenge pooping. That could be suddenly attractive to some people if they've seen it. Or heard about it. You know? Like, I always thought I'd, you know, crap in a car someday, but I wanted to, like, get reincarnated as a bird. You know, before I crapped on a car, because that would be sensible, you know? Because birds know they crap on people's cars so they can get philosophical about it. That's how birds work, you know? Yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to get reincarnated as a seagull and shit on people's cars, you know? But now I realize I could just shit on a person's car and leave a note. You know, so say like nuclear war is way easier than regular war, you know, or danger mudslides. Yeah. Say like 99% correct is 100% wrong. You know, be a real stickler about it. Oh, God. Yeah, I think plumbers are the sergeants of dishwashers. I think they are. Plumbers are the sergeants of dishwashers because they like, you know, they make the dishwashing work. Man. Alright, so obviously I'm loaded. I'm loaded on drugs. But that's the way I have to be, you know? But like I was telling you, my favorite drug is Toad. You know, because it has DMT in it and it's a live drug. So you could just, your drugs could just have sex and make more drugs. So if you like DMT, that's okay. And I like DMT. But I like it straight from the toad's back. Because DMT has a horrible flavor, and you don't want to really experience it. And if you're smoking DMT, it's not like some myth where you just like smoke it and you're there. Like you gotta keep hitting it. And you can feel yourself get poisoned when you're smoking DMT. It has a horrible flavor. It has a horrible flavor. So it's like you're just torturing yourself. You just have to smoke DMT until you can't find the pipe anymore. That's the rule. So you're just torturing yourself for like 5 minutes, and then you like pierce the veil, But it's really ineffective if you're getting it synthesized and not getting it directly from the toad. It's incorrect, because if you're licking a toad, like it's already too late. There's no flavor or anything. Like if you're licking a toad to get high off DMT, you got 30 seconds to get your drugs back in the cage before they run away. And that's a reality. Like it's that quick. Like you've done DMT, you know when you go over, it's that quick. But in the meantime, you torture yourself. But you erase all the torture if you lick a toad. It's the truth. Yeah, you got. It's. Oh, man, it's great. It's great, because like you've done DMT. It's like you're no longer in the room. It's like you're just in the claws of a dragon or a great bird, and you're flying around, over these mountains. They're like sliding all over the place, but they're real mountains, and you can feel real wind, and you're dead. You're dead because you can tell from the angle of your head when it's staring into the sun, but the sun is like not the sun. The sun is just some big rotating tetrahedron of all the scenes of your life. And it's flipping over and over. It's just like rotating in the sky. And you fly into it. But the closer you get to it, the more you realize that 85% of these scenes are just pictures of Barney Rubble. It's just pictures of Barney Rubble. You have like no old memories. Like you have no soul. Like you're just on a bummer of an ancestor trip. It's like nothing but advertising. And then you fly into it realizing like how connected you are with the universe and how it all sucks. And then you wake up. You just wake up in bed, like sweating, and you can smell colors. You're all sweaty and you can smell colors. Colors smell like gummy bears if gummy bears are made out of ammonia and copper. And you go, oh, this is the greatest. This is the best because I have an unending supply of this. Let me just do more toad. And then you do more toad. Oh, man. See, that's a dream I have, just selling toads. Straight out of my bathtub. Because I'll develop them, I'll be the Amway of drugs. Because that's what we need right now, Oh, man. It really is. I mean, we need effective drugs. Like reality. I mean, can you imagine reality as a drug? I mean, this wouldn't be funny at all. Oh, man. So anyways, hey, I'm a stand-up comic, but I also have business ideas. Because I'm tired of living on my knees. It's the truth. I'm tired of living on my knees. I have business ideas now. And I'm a mad scientist because I've been locked in a room for a year. So now I'm a mad scientist. So the first thing I'm developing is an athlete's foot medication with nicotine in it. That's the first thing I'm doing, an athlete's foot medication with nicotine. Yeah, so people can get addicted to having clean feet. That's my $1 million idea. It's just going to be called Get Addicted to Having Clean Feet, $9.99. Be the price is right on the tube. And people will buy it, and they'll get addicted to having clean feet. Because there's got to be healthy uses for nicotine, you know, for God's sakes. Ugh, man. Also, I want to make a dog without any bones in his face. Because that's easy. I mean, there's enough boneless dogs in, like, the rescue dog extortion stock market. There's a lot of dogs without any bones in their face. I'm just going to make a really soft dog that's really expensive to maintain. And so people will walk up to it and feel sad about how cute it is. It's like $1 million idea, another one. You know? Because people will walk up to it and just go, oh, look at this. Look at this smiling creature with its eyes and boneless face. Just smiling at me. I'll just give you $19 a month. I'll give you personally $19 a month to maintain this dog. And then you'll get some empathy off of it. And that'll feel good. Because the dog is really expensive and symbolic. Man, that's $1 million idea right there. Oh, man. Also, I want to make Tide Pods edible and also able to get out tough stains. Because people are stupid. And they're going to keep eating detergent because it smells good. And if you don't make an edible laundry detergent, a bunch of kids are going to die. So I'm going to make a Tide Pod that's edible and also able to get out tough stains. Because that's $1 billion idea. Because as soon as you make it, all laundry detergent has to be edible. And then you just win $1 billion. You get a Nobel Prize for like making that happen. That's what I'll do with all the money I make off the other ideas, you know. But the first thing I'm going to do as a business idea that totally makes sense is I'm going to make a bunch of Dark Side Star Wars memorabilia. I'm going to make a bunch of Dark Side Star Wars memorabilia because that's my business idea. But it's going to be like illegal. It'll be all illegal. It'll just look like Star Wars stuff, all accurate. But it will have nothing to do with Star Wars or Disney. It'll just be me making all that money. And what I'm going to sell is Luke Skywalker's original hand as a Dark Side Star Wars figurine. Yeah, I'm going to sell Luke Skywalker's original hand as a Dark Side Star Wars memorabilia. You know, I'm going to sell it for $300 and it's going to be in a blood-soaked bag. And I'll say, here it is, you know? And I'll have all the weight of a real hand. It'll be life-sized, you know? It'll be Luke Skywalker's original hand. And I'm going to sell it to people for $300 so true fans can, like, choke themselves with it. I want true fans to choke themselves with the original hand. Or jerk off with it. One or the other, but I'll make sure it stays in the plastic. I'll make sure it's a flexible plastic. You know, so it can retain its value as a collectible. I'm going to sell those for $300. Yeah, and then, like, you know, when I've sold enough of them, like, Disney will get wind of it because Disney's everywhere. And then they'll sue me for copyright infringement for selling all these hands. And then they'll just sue me into existence. That's what'll happen. They'll just sue me into existence. Because that's my business idea. Because you can't make any money without all the advertising. Like, let's be honest. Oh, man. You know, Khloe Kardashian is actually advertising a migraine relief medication? I mean, she's the cause of migraines, for God's sakes. Like, how do you get that gig? I think like commercials these days are just like nothing but good cop, bad cop commercials. Because of all like the blip verts in them. I mean, I saw a commercial today. It was like a healthcare commercial. And there was like 90 people in it in like 30 seconds. Like just to make sure you're aware that people die. I mean, that was like terrible. And then they have the screen telling you like all the medical insurance you can get. And then it's a constant barrage of like people you may miss. You know, that was pretty crazy actually, you know? Oh, man. I should acknowledge that this is a death metal album. It's a death metal album, but it's like a comedy death metal album. Oh, God. What else do I have left to do? I said I'm going to do 25 minutes. So this has like been 25 minutes. So I guess I'll end with advertising. Yeah, why not? I'll end with advertising. So anyways, so you know, I'm actually teaching a stand-up comedy class. I'm teaching a stand-up comedy class, you know, at Mutiny Information Cafe. Like, if you want to learn to think this way, or listen to thinking this way, you can occasionally show up and like listen to like a show, and then I'll teach you how to do stand-up comedy. Yeah, in traffic. Ugh. But you know, it'll be like there's strategic things and stuff, you know. Like I'm aware of an audience. It's frightening actually, but nevertheless we do it. So there'll be advertisements for it. Also, you can like purchase zines at the Mutiny Information Cafe bookstore. Yeah, Mutiny Information Cafe is actually selling zines with my jokes in them, and they're funny. So, but there's 18 books, and the books are like $2 to like $5, depending on how complex the like, books are. So you could purchase those at the Mutiny Information Cafe, and then like eventually there will be a room once COVID is done we do shows in. And it won't be so fucking cold. Oh, yeah, it's cold. It's a mound of ice I'm like staring at. Yeah. So anyways, this has been like a death metal album for comedy. You can actually like listen to it later if you pick up one of these flyers that are on the wall over there. It'll be like an album of jokes that you just walked by. Imagine that, like another album. I think that's enough. Oh, also the zines are being sold at Kilgar Trout Bookstore, which you should go over there and purchase some books. Because, for God's sakes, like, I mean, enough of, like, the internet. Go read some books. Also, my books adjust your eyes. That's another business idea. Like, the fonts are all fucked up, so you have to, like, your eyes have to adjust to it. Actually, all of these zines actually strengthen your eyes. You know, help you cope with all the bullshit. Anyways, that's been it. That's been a death metal album. Yeah, perfect. All right. I've been Mike Coppolino. You have a decent day. This has been in the High Dive parking lot. Thank you. Thank you. It's a Monday. All right.